In this video, I just want to talk to you about what you can put in your sales script in the business info. So the reason we had this in here is under the admin section, you'll find business info tab and you'll have a box called sales script. Now, this is purely just for you to put in some pointers, not a full sales script, because most of you will be sitting on the phone and actually making notes on pen and paper. So this is purely just a way when you're making your call that you'll have next to that call as that call is happening, just some bullet points in here. So you might want to obviously put in any notes you want in here. So, uncover, pain or whatever it is, dig deeper, whatever. So you can put in any note, you put literally anything you want in here. Now, there is a limit on the characters. The reason is that we didn't want you to put in an entire sales script word for word, because otherwise it will sound like when you're actually doing the call, it'll be, hello, I am reading off a script. So therefore, I am making sure that I do this and not really listening to what you're saying. So what you want to do is have these bullet points handy. So again, over time, you can develop this sales script bit to suit what you want. So if you're particularly bad at overcoming objections, let's say, and let's say you struggle with that, well then you might just put in, remember, I don't know, point 1, point 2. So you can kind of give yourself some nudges in here to make your life easier when you're on a call to remember. So this is kind of like your memory bank of bits that you've got to remember when you do a sales call. So I just make bullet points, don't put it in word for word. That's purposely why we've not made it like this massive long page that you can load, because it's there just as a reminder. So when you're doing the call, and again, if you don't know what that looks like, then go into the video in the sports section where we talk about the call. And it will display next to all the contact information, the questionnaire. You can see it there as you're making the call, your bullet points to remember what to cover. So like I say, initially you might just want to put in the various stages that you need to cover inside the call as a reminder, as like a framework. Then as you get better and you realise that, the establishing rapport bit, you're really good, but overcoming objections, you always seem to fall over on the money one. So you might put in here, overcoming money objection, let's say. You could put a little note in there and it'll give you 3 or 4 points that when you're on that call, you've just got a little memory jog there as you're making notes about the individual person that you're speaking to. So remember, this is not designed to you to load in your entire sales script. It's just there as like bullet point reference points to help you along the way as you're making notes and talking to that client, because we want you to actively listen on the call, not just read off the script that you put in here. So that's why we purposely didn't make it a very, very long sort of sales script that you can post the whole thing in, because that would defeat the object. Okay, so just use that as you need to. You don't have to use it at all. If you leave it blank, nothing will show up. If you put information in there, it will show up. But it's quite just a good reminder. You might even want to put in, your price points on here, so 4 times. Just so, again, you can remember, things like that. It's just there as like a little notepad to make some notes that when you're on a call, it will always show up no matter what's happening, whilst you're then making the individual notes about the client, okay? So that's how you use the sales script box inside of Client Funnels.